Good afternoon. My name is Jack Robb. I'm Director of Department Administration, and I'd like to welcome all the CPM graduates, their supervisors, and agency directors. In the audience today, we have past graduates and current participants in the CPM program. Could I have all past graduates and current participants please stand? Graduates, your agency saw something in you, and that's why you're here today. They wanted to hone your skills as an employee. They wanted to hone your skills as a leader. They afforded you an opportunity to look within and become a better person. I am not a CPM graduate, but I've seen firsthand how this program has helped people, not only from employees that worked for me in the past, but very close and personal to me. My wife, Ricky Robb, is a former graduate of the CPM class. She gained confidence through this class. She changed her approach. She developed more understanding and understanding of person's individualities. She became a better employee and a better supervisor, and then she also became a better spouse, which in turn made me a better spouse. She's always been an amazing mother, but even as good as she was, she became better. I put this all together. I'm going off script here a little bit. I didn't know my wife was going to be in the audience today when I put this together, so it made it even that much more difficult. But this journey you're graduating from today has made you better in ways and changed you in ways you don't even recognize in yourselves. And those changes are for the better. If I have a bit of guidance for you today as you graduate and move on to different roles within your agency, it's we all have strengths and weaknesses. Every one of your current employees and every one of your future employees has strengths and weaknesses. Concentrate on the strengths. Help them with their weaknesses. Build up your employees. Give them the confidence to succeed. The Department Administration and the CPM program would like to thank the various agency directors, city leaders, and county governments for sending us such exceptional people for Class 18 of the CPM. We are confident that your investment in these people have paid dividends already. We also want to thank the family members of the people that participate in CPM class. The long hours afterwards, after work, this is additional work on top of your already busy schedule. Family members had to be very tolerant during the capstone projects, and your support was essential in their success in this program. Finally, I would like to thank the instructors, Rebecca Kennard, Bill Kinson, Rob Horgan, and Anthony Brown from DHRM for working with you for the past 18 months. Before I introduce the governor for his keynote speech, let me thank the administration for their continued gubernatorial support for this nationally accredited program. It pays significant dividends in the form of workplace development and efficiencies that improve the lives of all Nevadans. With that, I'd like to introduce Governor Joe Lombardo.
Well, I was a little taken back when I first saw the graduates come in the room and nobody was clapping or cheering. It was a little weird. So you look great, and congratulations on your graduation today. And it's the culmination of a lot of hard work, right? It's weird you're on both sides of the room. So, you know, it's an honor. It's an honor to have the ability and the offer and the invite to speak to the graduates, and more importantly, to the support system that seats before me. I think it's always a, an interesting piece is when I came up and met with some of the staff and They thanked me for coming today, and I said, no, I thank you for coming in today because it gives me a reprieve from the doldrums of running the state. No, and it sounds like a little bit of humor, but it isn't. It's in all sincerity, because leadership and management and supervision quite often gets you into the doldrums of the day-to-day operations, and you don't often see the success and the results of your hard work. And today is a result of your hard work, right? And this is a celebration. This isn't a training mechanism, right? You've gone through all that, you did your due diligence, you paid your penance, and everything else that goes along with it. And hopefully you learned something along the way to the benefit of yourselves, and similar to Jack and his family life. Which one is his wife? Raise your hand. I was a little taken back when he said those comments, but it was, but that's fantastic. That's fantastic that he had the guts to say it with you being here in person. So, what I like to do in graduation, as you can imagine, being the sheriff in Clark County for 8 years and a leader / manager, supervisor, whatever acronym you use throughout my 35 years in management, and now as your governor, I quite often get the opportunity to talk about leadership. But sometimes it's hard to quantify that. Your first day in class as a certified public manager and your endeavor to achieve your graduation, they probably asked you what's the difference between leadership and management and getting the job done and all the nuances on that. And I quite often rely on my experience in that space. And it's very important for you to, I know you've been in some formal academic environments, and you ask yourself while you're sitting in that class and the instructor is droning on, and you're saying, what the hell's this got to do with life? What the hell's this got to do with my job? How do I correlate this, what I'm trying to achieve, or the organization's goals, all right, or objectives? Well, hopefully I'm going to give you a little insight in that. Just through my years of experience, take it for what it's worth, but I think it's important for you to be able to get a little bit of nuggets from my speaking points today, and hopefully you'll benefit from it into the future. So, leadership. And so I want to read a little narrative. I did a little research before I came here today on the program, and I had a sufficient amount of notes written for me, and I threw the notes away. And I hope I didn't offend anybody by doing that. Because what it is there was a lot of descriptive what the program was. You know what the program was, and I'm sure you've coached everybody in here what the program is, and a lot of you are the graduates of the program. So I think it's more important to talk about the benefits of the program, hopefully the benefits of the program. So I want to read a little narrative on the introduction via the internet. The Certified Public Manager Program is a nationally recognized and nationally accredited leadership development program for public managers and supervisors. The CPM program is designed for public administrators who wish to learn from both current management theory and useful techniques in order to prove their performance as managers in the public sector. The vision of the CPM program is to develop world-class leaders, managers for public service. A little more narrative. Professional and development in nature, the CPM program is designed to prepare managers for increasingly complex and demanding government issues. And at the completion of each program level, participants will develop practical application relevant to advancing mission and objectives of their organization. Is that what occurred? Did it? So I want to hit on a couple of those key words. Leadership development for managers and supervisors. Management theory and techniques. Government issues. Advancing the mission and objectives, vision, or goals, however you like to say it, of the organizations. That's leadership. That's leadership encapsulated, exactly what you're trying to achieve. But how do you achieve leadership? First, you got to know what leadership is. And leadership is vision. Leadership's vision. You come in as a manager, and you're working through the agency's goals, the objectives of the agency. But how did you get those goals? You got that from the leader. You got that from the leader that had the vision, what we're trying to accomplish as an organization, no matter what it is. Okay, that's the difference between leadership, managing, and supervising. Is having your vision, so you have the organization's vision and you have your personal vision for your area of responsibility. The vision that James has over in Natural Resources is completely different than Jack has over in the Department of Administration, correct? So you have to realize that. So you have to provide communications to your subordinates on a daily basis. The rise and fall of any organization is communication. With it or without it, you will either fail or succeed. It's very important for you to realize that. Accountability. Not everybody does exactly what we say, correct? And what is part of accountability is motivation. Your job as a leader is to be a motivator. And how do you motivate people? Give them more money? Give them time off? No, that's all short term. What you do is you challenge them and then you recognize them when they do a good job. That's exactly what it takes to be a leader. And then the accountability pieces on that is when they don't do what you ask them to do, right? Because the whole organization will fail as a result of you ignoring the responsibility of the organization and to your fellow workers. It's very important for you to realize that. The other piece is education. Why you're sitting here today, you're educating yourself, right? Quite often you talk about continually to educate, and we talk about formal education, whether it's through higher education that we all learn on a daily basis, or we hope to learn, or we hope to achieve to prove upon our resume. But more importantly, it's internal education. What we deal with in generational attitudes and who we lead and who we supervise is why? Why the hell are we doing this? Why are we doing this? It doesn't make sense, and quite often the answer is because we've always done it, right? So the CPM and the descriptor I gave you is how to be more effective and efficient, right? The ultimate goal is to make your job easier, make your service provided to your constituents and or your customers easier, right? And save the organization some money so you can continue to operate in perpetuity. So with that being said is, you gotta have accountability with it, and you have to educate yourself as to why we are doing what we're doing, and educate your subordinates. And we'll all be better as a result of. And last but not least, it's your job as a leader to build a team. Build a team. So Jack alluded to it, strengths and weaknesses. And throughout time and theory of leadership, what have they often told you? Identify your weaknesses and build on them. Well, the human being, the human genome does not work that way. What they do is you identify your strengths and continue to build your strengths. Then identify your team members that can help you with your weaknesses, all right? So you pick your team, provide them training and education, provide them direction, and get the hell out of the way, right? And your job as a leader is to check on them once in a while, make sure they're achieving the department's goals in the direction that we want to achieve as an organization. Don't complicate it. Don't complicate it. That's the best thing I can tell you. And one of the biggest mistakes you make as a leader throughout process, you feel compelled to put your name to it. Don't do that. Put your name to the person that brought it forward, the person that brought the idea, and the person that brought all the hard work. Have them make you look better, not yourself, because you want your people to respect you and want to work for you. And hopefully this, I think I can guarantee you, this program taught you that. Would you agree? Yes. That wasn't very resounding. No, I hope everybody in this room is better for what CPM has accomplished and brought to you for both yourself, your family, the organization, and our community. Always remember that we are a service agency. So a little bit of, just for the audience understanding, a little bit of the positivity of what your loved ones have gone through or your coworkers have gone through for the last 18 months. There's been a totality of $1.2 million invested by the state into the program. But you want a return on investment, right? You want a return on interest. You want a return to the benefit of the individuals and the organization. And And to quantify that, we've probably had approximately a $48 million efficiency and effectiveness in programming to the benefit of our constituents, to our customers, and to our coworkers. And you can't quantify that. It's immeasurable. I gave you a measurement of it, but in actuality, in motivation and what we're trying to achieve, you can't measure it. So return on investment for the CPM program, leadership programs in totality is immeasurable. And we have to continue to do that in the future. And I think it's very important for a leader, me, myself, and everybody else in this room, to realize the importance of leadership development. We have to build our bench, right? When we hired you for your technical knowledge, or we trained you your technical knowledge. Then as you moved up the spectrum and you decided you wanted to be a leader, how were we successful? And that was teaching you, providing education all along the way, providing direction, and improving upon your relationships. We all can't be everything. So, and here's a perfect example of this. As you move up into the leadership spectrum, Jack Robb is a perfect example. James Settlemeyer is a perfect example. James Settlemeyer was a legislator for 12 years, 16 years. What does he know about government? Jack ran a construction company for several years. What does he know about government? It's not about the technical knowledge when you are where we are today. It's about relationships, right? And working through people. Working through people. Let the people we hired have the technical knowledge and provide all the hard work for the success of the organization. That's the hardest thing to learn as a leader, is to work within the stature you're supposed to be in. Quite often we regress to where we're comfortable, correct? We regress to where we're comfortable. And you can't do that. Get used to being uncomfortable. Get comfortable with being uncomfortable. That's the same, all right? I want to thank everybody today. I want to thank you for your effort. All this was done, for everybody in the audience, all this was done on their own time. On their own time, on top of what they do on a daily basis. And you can't quantify that. You can't appreciate that enough. And it's very important for us to realize that. So thank you for what you're doing for us, for me, and everybody else that we're responsible for. So thank you. And as I say adieu, I will bring up Mandy Bosmith. And Mandy is the administrator for the Division of Human Resources Management, to introduce our class speakers and the award of the certificates. Thank you, Mandy.
Thank you. Hi. Welcome. It is fantastic to see a room full of people again at a graduation for CPM. Yeah. In the Division of Human Resource Management, our job is to serve employees of the state of Nevada and to serve candidates for employment for the state of Nevada. Once they get here, and once they get into departments and divisions within the state of Nevada, it's their leadership's job to grow them and train them and put them into opportunities like the Certified Public Manager program that allows them to learn and grow and progress. We are exceedingly fortunate at the state of Nevada to have this program. This program is the creme de la creme of leadership programs in the nation. And we are fortunate to be able to run our own program and to have certified individuals who can train, who can teach, who can mentor, and who can nurture folks through this program. I would like to give my personal thanks to Becky Kennard, to Robert Horgan, to Bill Kinson, to Crystal Borgman, and to Antonio Brown for their dedication. I also would like to just, as an aside, let you know that we didn't pick Jack to go through the program. We picked Ricky instead, so that's why he hasn't been through it. Nanny, nanny. Anyway. That's all right. You're doing all right, I think. No, oh, I can't hear you. You can't hear me? Are your hearing aids on? Okay, all right. Okay. Sometimes we have to ask. You'd be surprised how many meetings I'm in where he just looks at me and I'm like, oh, you didn't hear a thing I just said. Okay, cool. Anyway, it is also amazing to see department leaders here, to see directors, to see deputy directors and administrators. Assemblyman Hibbets, thank you for being here. It is an honor to be able to present the 18th cohort of the Certified Public Manager class to you. You're going to hear from two speakers today. The first speaker is going to be Zachary Cord, who is in the Department of Motor Vehicles. The second speaker is going to be Frankie Mason, who works for the State Athletic Commission. We're very excited to hear their remarks, but I would like to make a pitch before I turn it over to Zachary. You all watching here know the level of commitment it takes to be a certified public manager candidate because a lot of you have gone through this program. I ask you to go back to your departments and take a look at the people that work for you, the teams that you lead, the teams that you're a part of, and to identify people who you think are going to benefit from this program going forward. This is an amazing program. It's an amazing group of people that teach this program, and I am here to tell you I have seen the benefits, I have seen the progress, I've seen the savings to state programs that have come out of the capstone projects that folks do. Please go back and identify your superstars who we can help grow even further in the CPM program. Thank you very much. Zachary Cord from the Department of Motor Vehicles, you're up. All right.
I hear this is supposed to be helpful, so. All right, thank you all for coming today to celebrate the 18th CPM graduating class. Daphne DeLeon was intended to be our speaker today, but unfortunately she could not make it. I'm saddened by this as I was looking forward to what she had to say. She is one of those people that are always confident and know just what to say. So imagine my surprise when I was chosen to replace her. So in response to that, I have two items. First one, seriously guys? The second one is, what an honor it is to be chosen by a group of people that I both admire and respect. For me, this class meant opportunity, growth, and inspiration. This class not only taught me about the skills I would need to succeed, but more importantly, the context in which to use them. It did not cure me of my impatience, but it helped me understand that there are two sides to every story. It did not cure me of my high expectations, but it helped me in communicating so others can understand my goals. It helped me understand that to be an excellent manager, you first have to manage yourself to that same level of excellence. These lessons are huge in their impact on a professional level. Those that have gone through the class or who have watched others go through the class can attest to this. The inspiration shines through these individuals like a lighthouse suddenly ignited. I would like to say a few words to my class. Take that light and use it as a catalyst as you move forward through this world. I have high expectations for myself, as I'm sure you do all for yourself as well. For taking what you've learned in these 18 months and using it to help make the state of Nevada the envy of the nation. It will be difficult, and we will struggle, but we will struggle through this together. And just remember, struggle does not equate to failure. So I'd like to leave you with a portion of a speech from Teddy Roosevelt that has always inspired me. Many may know this speech. It is The Man in the Arena. It is not the critic who counts, not the man who points out how the strong man stumbles, or where the doer of deeds could have done them better. The credit belongs to the man who is actually in the arena, whose face is marred by dust and sweat and blood, who strives valiantly, who errs, who comes short again and again. Because there is no effort without error and shortcoming, but who does actually strive to do the deeds, who knows great enthusiasms, the great devotions, who spends himself in a worthy cause, who are at the best knows in the end triumph of high achievement, and who at the worst, if he fails, at least fails while daring greatly, so that his place shall never be with those cold and timid souls who never knew victory nor defeat. As the 18th graduating CPM class enters their own proverbial arena, be prepared, Nevada. If we demonstrate the change, growth, and inspiration gleaned in these last 18 months, we will light the way for the future. We will be just as the CPM vision describes, leaders and managers for public service. Thank you.
Thank you, Zachary. I didn't know that you were voluntold, like today, that you were doing this. Good job. So Zachary was representing the northern cohort. I don't know if you all know, but they typically run a simultaneous cohort in the north and the south. And they only are able to get together a couple of times during the class period. I've lost my speech right now. I'm just gonna hang out here until I figure out what I'm gonna say. During the period of the program, they only get together a couple of times. So the two cohorts come together and then have to figure out how to work together, having been separate for a while. So it's kind of cool in that way too. It's a lot of leadership building, a lot of team building. Representing the southern cohort, now you weren't voluntold today, Frankie, were you? No, okay, all right, okay. So Frankie knew that this was gonna happen. Representing the southern cohort from the State Athletic Commission is Frankie Mason.
Well, that was a hard act to follow for somebody that just pitch hit a home run. Well done. Well, good afternoon. It is an honor to stand before you today on behalf of the Southern Nevada CPM Class 18 and address such esteemed guests, the Honorable Governor Lombardo, members of the legislature, leaders, state leaders. This is an absolute honor to be here today. Family and friends, thank you for joining us. And it is my sincere hope that your presence here is an affirmation of the program's value, that you will be valiant defenders in the winds of trying times and budget cuts, so that this program never comes within a breath of being eliminated. Vigilance is necessary because, as Abigail Adams stated, learning is not attained by chance. It must be sought for with ardor and attended to with diligence. And I can assure you that that is the case here. Everyone showed up, which is important because you've got to bring your A game. Sure, the CPM classes start off comfortable enough, but before you know it, you've reached the slow boil point. The program is so multifaceted that you will soon surpass your strengths and come up hard and fast against a weakness. Some you may or may not have known about. Each of us brought our own set of experiences and our own expectations of what we wanted to take away from the program, whether it was learning or increasing skill levels in areas such as change management, project management, service delivery, ethical standards, how to utilize data better. It didn't really matter what you wanted. All of these are all service-focused driven classes, and those are just a few of the modules. But you can understand how it's great building blocks that help you build a solid foundation for good state stewardship. What is harder to define is the intangible outcomes. You see, the magnifying glass gets turned back on you, and how you see the world and navigate, and how to avoid those pitfalls that might keep you from excelling at leadership. I believe the essence of the program is that we are here to learn how to become the best at developing and supporting Nevada's greatest asset, its people. And we were given a window into what this looks like during the practitioner's conversation module. The participants are respectfully referred to as friends of the CPM program, but today I would like to address them by their real names, exemplary leaders. The opportunity to have such access to a wide swath of professionals, both in the public and the private sector, was invaluable. They have staggering workloads and pressing deadlines, but they show up and they participate because they believe in and see the value of the CPM program. So to those individuals, to the course evaluators, to all of the administrators who signed off on our participation, thank you. Thank you for demonstrating leadership. To Employee Development Manager Rob Horgan, Becky Kennard, and the entire CPM team, this is your job, but you know what? It never felt like that. The presentations were always fresh, and on the days we were going to be thrown for a loop, right? Their enthusiasm never waned, ever. So I say on those days when you're trying to figure out how to do more with less, or you're wondering, am I even making an impact? Am I making a difference? Well, I offer you the words of President John Quincy Adams, who said, if your actions inspire others to dream more, learn more, do more than you, and become more, then you are a leader. And finally, to my cohorts, thank you for showing up and attending to your learning with ardor and diligence. I have one word, wow, and I mean that sincerely. Not only did I learn something from each and every single one of you, I was humbled and inspired. You demonstrated intelligence, integrity, work ethic, drive, and commitment. It was an honor to be your peer, but I am even more proud to be a citizen of this great state of Nevada, knowing that individuals like these are striving to become better leaders to serve all of Nevada. I greatly appreciate your time and thank you for being here. Thank you, sir.
I've been practicing name pronunciation. The northern cohort of Class 18 of the Certified Public Manager Program, Shannon Bennett. Katie Bradley. Todd Carl. Zach Cord. Heather Crawford Ferry. Sharon Flannery. Jenna Larkin. Tim Lindley. Candice Nishizawa. Amanda Silva. Madison Cisqueros. Michelle Wayland. And now the Southern cohort of the Certified Public Manager Program for Class 18, Dina Babsky. Daryl Brown. Denise Burton. Chris Corello. Andrea Fountain. William Gardner. Esther Gregoric. Jared Hoops. Sabrina Jackson. Bailey Keach. Deanna Lara. Frankie Mason. Michael Means. Ivan Pittman. Alejandro Ruiz. Sheila Chino. Christopher Witten. Also graduating today but unable to attend the ceremony are Amber Angel, Trina Burke, Stephen Connor, Daphne De Leon, Mark Edwards, and Viva Wells. I have a script. May I have the cohorts stand, please? I present to you the 18th cohort of the Certified Public Manager Program at the State of Nevada. Congratulations. Okay, so families, attendees, we're gonna let you, go back to your lives a little bit. We're gonna take some photographs with the graduates. So we're gonna keep them back a little bit, but they will join you out in the lobby or downstairs or wherever later. Shortly. Thank you all so much for attending.